when you have very low T like I do. Again, like you guys are asking about like trolls in about everything in life. I thought about being a detractor.
Say my name.
Breaking Banquet.
You're goddamn right.
Leon, there's less than 50 people banned on my stream, period. We have the finest feast of Bojangles. We got mashed potatoes and gravy, Spanish rice, and spicy chicken tenders. Make sure we're leaning to the mic when I eat. People hate the way I eat. Ice cold. Why would you microwave it? Granted, I like to consider myself a little bit of a microwave connoisseur. Like, I know how to microwave food, but microwave is not great. Do you eat chicken tenders with a fork? Like, honestly, I have a spoon, but it's for my mashed potatoes and rice. I eat my chicken tender with my hands. Like who eats a chicken tender without their fingers? I think Airsoft Fatty is, like, I constantly unban people, Chuck. Like, if I go through and like, to be fair, YouTube's unban system sucks. It hides people sometimes. Somebody asked me what I do Fish Tank, and I've answered this question before. The only way I do Fish Tank is that they guarantee me money. Like, I'm not going on Fish Tank for a chance to win money. I need a guaranteed appearance fee. Why? Like I said before, I'm not going to, like, have somebody, like, spit in my face or, like, throw paint on me. Like, if you want to destroy a bunch of shit that ain't mine, that happens to be in the room I'm sleeping in, have at it, Hoss. All right? If you want to, like, scream at me and have me sleep deprived, cool. Whatever. I'm fine with it. But the second somebody spits in my face or wants to put hands on me, that's a fight. There's some things I don't tolerate. I did want Boogie to spit in my face. But the side effect of that is I already was going to fight Boogie. How do you even get to Kiwi Farm? What's the term freeloader? You 100% could call what I did with Boogie as a fight because Boogie had every opportunity to swing back. Do you think Boogie was scared of you in the ring? I think Boogie, like if you go back and watch the fight, the second that they start announcing me and they pan over to Boogie, that's when it hit Boogie that he's about to have to fight somebody. Like, everything was fun and games up until that point. But Boogie's a good person. Problem with Boogie is Boogie likes attention more than he makes good choices. Yeah, I still talk to Boogie. I've never understood any of that. But again, like I'm a complete rule follower. Like, I drive the speed limit the whole nine. I should have collabed? What do you mean? I'm supposed to be collaborating with Boogie. Like, me, Boogie, and Tommy C are supposed to be doing the LolCow podcast. And, like, I keep asking about it. I don't want to make schedules or anything like that. And I don't want to go after sponsors. I want to show up, do my best to be as entertaining as humanly possible, and collect a check. Excuse me. No, it's just me and Mr. Peanut. I was telling him he wanted to know if I wanted any like a yard work done. Like, Mr. Peanut, like, we don't have like a contract or anything like that. Generally, he calls me and asks me, do I want anything done? And I was telling him what I'd like done. I'd like I need some of my tree limbs cut back, and I need like and some of my bushes manicured. We're working with that. Like, I was telling Mr. Peanut, like, here's what we're gonna do with that. Since he did about $60 worth of work, and I gave him $200, and I told him I'm gonna take $10 off everything going forward this year until I make my $130 back. That's the deal I struck with him there. Because, like, Mr. Peanut will, like, cut my grass every 2 weeks for, like, front and backyard and weed eat for $60. Like, if I went to a company, they charge me a lot more than that, right? And then, I throw him side work, too. Like, I give him, like, $40 to clean the gutters. And I usually let him, like, for, like, trimming the bushes and, like, trimming the trees and stuff like that. That's probably going to be like $100 or something like that. Why is he Mr. Peanut? That's always been his name. He cuts me good deals. So, like, I don't want to lose his services. No, that's a full acre plus weed eating, because I got 1.1 acres here. That's a full acre plus he goes through with the line trimmer and, like, cleans up weeds, cleans up my ditch bank and stuff like that. How much to trim your butt? I totally call you out. Only 50 are banned. Your mods wore people out that first day. No way one of my 50. Who do we want to get on the show? Like I was throwing the idea that we should have Korn and Umber on as the first guest because they're supposed to do a rematch in Nashville on I don't know if I can give the date yet, but they're supposed to have a rematch in Nashville coming up, and I want to kind of like hype that up. Korn, Corn, he's like a Twitter guy with 1 million followers. He lost to Umber at Misfits 007. I wish we could get LeBron James. We can get a lot of people that like some podcasts can't, because Keem has a huge reach. Like, wow. Keem has connections. I actually didn't get to see KSI standing up. Like, I was in, like, at all. I don't want to talk about any sponsors we have lined up publicly because, you know, people go around to try to sabotage. No, I will not be rewarding anybody that builds their whole channel off of hate. I mean, to be fair, Keemstar's invested a good bit of money in the podcast already. Like, he wants us to use Shure MS7B microphones. They're about $400 each, about $1,200 per person. He's invested into it so far. We haven't really got that far into it yet, but like, it's looking legit. Again, like, you guys are asking about like trolls. No, I play off people well. And like I don't plan on doing like the super shock stuff no more, because like, again, it's going to be going forward. It's going to be something you got to sell to sponsors and stuff like that. So like, I plan on being funny, but I don't plan on being like 22-year-old Jordy that doesn't think the internet's going to remember what's going to happen in 10 years. And like, my suggestion, like, I was all for Tommy C because I feel like he'd be a good mix. Like, Tommy, like, the problem is it's got to be somebody that's considered almost localish. And like, I wanted somebody different. Like, Boogie is nerdy, right? I used to hunt and fish, active. I had, you know, a job out the house before. Never been on disability. But I'm more like kind of like progressive liberal. Whereas like Tommy's more of like right wing, and like Boogie's a dead centrist. And I think that mixes well. Like, you want to clash on opinions, so you have different opinions. So it's not just like a sewing circle where you're just constantly agreeing with each other. See, I don't think Phil would have been perfect. I don't. Like, like, I'm gonna be straight with you, and Boogie will appreciate this too. The problem I feel like I'm going to run into with the podcast is Boogie is an alpha. Boogie likes to talk over people, and I think that's going to be a point of interest in the podcast in the first few episodes, because I don't know Tommy that well, and I don't know how well that's going to clash. But I feel like Boogie would have talked over Phil, and Phil would have been like submissive to it, because Phil's kind of submissive in about everything in life. I think Phil is smart, and well, that's a tough one. I think Phil has a very solid opinion on things, but Phil isn't good off the cusp. Like, I don't think Phil is his best when he has to create entertainment instantly, which I'm not either. Like, I suck at fucking playing video games, talking to the chat. Dude, I refuse to do anything with Blade. Like, honestly, like, dude's a racist. If he isn't a racist, he does a very good job at playing one on TV. He's an inconsiderate prick, alcoholic that drinks and drives. To me, I want nothing to do with that person. That's my personal opinion. The only way I drive in a car with Blade is if it's a paddy wagon and I'm taking him to or from county jail. Paddy wagon is like a van the police come when they got to pick up a lot of people to transport them to jail. I ain't gonna admit, like, I'm honestly, I was like, I'm cool with I thought about being a detractor when I seen him streaming drunk driving. I was like, phew. I didn't know where he lived at, so I couldn't do anything about it. But like, if I knew where he lived at, I totally would have called the police on him, 100%. Like, do whatever you want to do in your own property, but when you want to get behind a 4,000-pound missile and drive when you can't control that 4,000-pound missile, I have issues with it. I know this because I've had 2 or 3 men in my life die from cirrhosis of the liver, which is from alcoholism. I think Boogie sent my play button. I haven't got it yet. You have stage 4 cirrhosis. I don't know the stages off the top of my head, but I do know, like, I remember when Brooke got it. Brooke was the last man I lost in my life to it, which Brooke wasn't family, but Brooke was like one of my friends. I mean, I don't wish Blade's life on anybody, right? Like I know what the end of the road looks like for Blade unless he makes a serious change, and it ain't pretty. It's a very slow, painful way. influencer boxing thing as a reward. Blade has done nothing to be rewarded. Like, you might look at it as like a contest, but like there's nothing but positivity in it. Blade was like drunk, and like a girl went and slept in the bed of the RV, and like Blade went and got under the covers with her and stuff like that. Yeah, go look it up. I mean, like, it's on the internet. They literally had a dude that was like telling him not to go back there multiple times. I don't know the dude's name. Like, I don't know. You can find the clip. Do I ever miss having sex drive? Yes, I do, Professor Surge. But it doesn't actively bother you. But like, you think back when you were like younger, and like it changes the way you think about that situations as you get older. Because like, as you get older, your testosterone naturally dips anyway. But like, when you have very low T like I do, like, it changes your whole interaction with people. Ellis, I was only a 911 operator for a very short period of time. And the craziest thing I ever had was somebody backed over a turkey and called 911 about it. Their husband had a pet turkey, and it like was free roaming, and they backed over it with their car, and they called us about it. That was the dumbest story I've ever had. Can you go to jail for hitting an animal with your car? Depends on the situation. Like, if you are fighting with a neighbor and you actively run his dog down, and he videotapes you or witnesses you doing it, yeah, you can go to jail for it. If a dog runs out in the road and you hit it with your car, probably not. I mean, Rob, I know you're making fun with that statement, but like, that's actually a defense in most cases. Like, I don't know if you guys around you have the same like phenomenon, but around here in like Conway, about every 5 years, an old person will get in their Buick and drive through the McDonald's, right? I try not to follow politics as much as possible. Old people, there's never a point in time where you have to like reevaluate, which there should be, right? At least in South Carolina. And like, you'll get people that are in their 70s and 80s still driving, and they'll get into the car and they'll think they've put it in reverse, but they have it in drive, and they'll just hit the gas and drive in panic and drive right through the wall of like a McDonald's or like a Hardee's or something like that. It happens once every 5 years here. I had some crackheads follow me home saying I ran over a dog in an adjacent neighborhood. Vigilante justice.